These millennial money boys and many other influencers are in quite a bit of heat, or they're facing quite a bit of heat. And why are they facing this heat, and do they deserve it? That's what I want to cover in this video right now. So if you guys don't know, Millennial Money here, okay, is a collection right here of Meet Kevin, Andre, Graham Stephan, and Jeremy Lefebvre. And they had a channel that was called Millennial Money, and they would discuss all kinds of things, right? Now, I haven't really gotten into their videos to watch and other people's reaction to their videos. I guess the channel's been deleted, and a lot of it has to do with, or all of it has to do with FTX and the fact that these guys were promoting FTX. FTX was a sponsor of their channels, and I guess they're pushing it pretty hard. And so the backlash here has been, well, you guys should know that they're scams, or FTX was a scam. So you guys are duping your own followers just to make your own money. That's been the narrative across the board. But here's where I'm going to push back. All right. If people like Andreessen Horowitz of A16Z, people like Sequoia Capital, and other big names did not know that FTX was a scam, how are we going to assume or put on the mantle of responsibility to YouTubers to know that? They don't, right? And if you look at all of them, none of them have any focus on crypto. I believe there's, stocks and real estate is really where their sweet spot is. So this is not their realm, and even those in the realm didn't know what was happening. So I don't put that on these guys. The heat that they're getting now, is it warranted? I'm going to say no. It's as if you were getting promoted by any company and that company turns out to be a scam, and you don't know the back end, you don't know what's happening, unless it's your own company or somehow you have invested in it, and it's like a startup company and you should have intimate knowledge of it, even then. But FTX, nah, it's too big, duped too many people, stole 10 billion of customer funds. Customers didn't know, back end people didn't know, nobody knew. So I'm not going to put that on these guys. But here's the second thing I want to talk about. Be careful who you take advice from. This is going beyond just, hey, here's my link to FTX, sign up. These guys were also giving crypto advice. And I'll tell you, amongst the four of them, I follow and love Jeremy's content. To this day, I still follow it. There's some things that he's recommended in there that I've invested in that haven't worked out. But he's the guy. Like, I don't, and if you guys don't know, this is who I'm talking about. Okay, Jeremy. I love his content. I love everything about him. I love the way he breaks stuff down, how he goes in depth on stock markets, and always has data to back up what he's talking about and historical information, and then his own experiences. There's nothing I'm going to say bad about him. Okay, but what I'm going to say again is be careful who you take advice from, because these guys, which they were jumping on the crypto clickbait trend. They're also getting into the crypto investing with large sums of money that they had from their YouTube channels or wherever they were making them. And just because they may be savvy investors or, experienced investors in real estate or stock market, that doesn't necessarily apply. Actually, it's kind of a hindrance to being in the crypto market, because the stuff that you use, in these mature markets like real estate and stock market don't necessarily apply here. And so, I was always worried about that. Some of the things that Jerry even recommended was going heavy on. I'm like, look, you're not in this space. Maybe you should pump the brakes a little bit on it. But hey, it was a public company. It was in the form of a stock, so it's not like he was promoting individual coins or anything like that. Although the Voyager native token he was eating up, but he wasn't really talking so much about just getting that, just more about investing in Voyager itself. No problems with that. Voyager was a public company. Do what you got to do with it. It's fair game, right? But just be careful. Like, I would not be giving real estate advice. I'm not in real estate. Nor would you want. You wouldn't want to take advice from your friends or family who are not in your particular space about what you're doing. That goes across the board, not just investing, but especially when it comes to your money. Take advice from people who are actually in those areas and practicing in those areas, not just jumping on a hype train. So that's number 2. But number 3 for me is really the biggest one of all this stuff that's going on, of all the heat these guys are taking, and others, some rightfully so, some not so much, as I pointed out. Where's the accountability? No one is forcing you to invest in anything that anybody recommends. And I know people don't want to hear this, but it's your choice. Yeah, like if someone is doing it on purpose to persuade you so they get something on the back end and they're giving you outright lies, okay, that's a different story. But if people are giving their recommendation, they don't know much. You should know that they don't know much. This is not where they play. This is not the arena they play in. And yet you decide to invest based on their opinion. And it doesn't work out well. Don't give them heat. There's got to, this is how I work, okay? Everything that is good or bad, I'm going to take responsibility for. I can't control anybody else, right? But I can control my reactions. I can control my investments. I can control my decision-making process around those investments. So if I look back and I say, hey, this didn't work out, why did I invest in it? Oh, I only invested in it because Jeremy said so. Or Graham said so. Or, me kept, whatever the situation is here for you or anyone listening. That's not a reason to invest. So irrespective of what they said, how they presented it, who they are, and what they brought to the table before they gave you that, recommendation, it's still on you. And if you went and, pulled a metaphorical trigger and invested, you made that choice. So I just want to caution everyone. Like, let's tone it down a notch. These guys are getting eaten up. Others are getting eaten up about it. And at the end of the day, nobody sat there, took your hand, and made you commit that transaction that lost you money. None of us. None of us were in that situation, right? So if we lose money, that's on us, 100%. That's what I believe. That's how I behave. That's my mentality now going forward for everything. Irrespective of the outcome, it's on me. And so I hope you guys take something away from that. I would like all of us to take accountability for what we do. It just gives us a whole lot of control, right? We can't point fingers at anybody. It's up to us. It really is. My brother has a channel here. It's called Up to You Vikrant. And it's phenomenal because I love that saying, it's up to you. Same thing with here. Everything is up to you. So if things go sideways, find out why, and find out why from the lens of looking at yourself, not pointing the fingers at anybody else. All right. So the biggest of the biggest couldn't figure out FTX was a scam. No need to hate on any influencers on here who are YouTubers who are just doing financial advice. They're not even in the crypto space. They're not going to have a clue. Be careful who you take advice from. Make sure they're playing in the arena that you are playing in. And third, but definitely not least, is take accountability for everything that happens. It makes life a whole lot simpler.